Well, we're going to do a video on getting the most out of the least amount of paint. Now, I've got 2 quarts of dope on this, meaning 1 quart on the substrate and 1 quart on the top. Actually, no, that's not correct. I got a half a quart on the substrate and a full quart of dope on the top. Now, that's unthinned because that's how I count it, unthinned. So try to get the most for least. It takes different grits of sandpaper. Remember, I started sanding this airplane with 36 grit. Well, then you're going to get down to finer grits. Let's see here. We want to change this out. I first sanded it with 800 after the paint was on, 800. Then I dropped 1,000. Then I dropped to 1,500, which is right here, 1,500. Then to 2,000. Well, not only does that help, relieve the scratches, we're going to sand it with 3,000. You think, well, I'm done there after 3,000. Not exactly. I'm going to take this out and cut it in half. Getting the most out of your pad and the most out of your finish is a real art. And Wendy, he puts the paint on, and he's got plenty of material to sand. Super craftsman, super nice work, but the airplanes are heavy. So what I do is I want to talk about these pads. The firmer the pad, let's go here. The firmer the pad, the more aggressive it is. So you got different colors. Now, a wool pad is the most aggressive, and you can burn your paint real quick with wool. And the least aggressive is going to be the black. So this is the progression of pads. It goes this pad, this pad, this pad, this pad, this pad, and then that pad. And that's after sanding with the 3,000. Now I've already sanded with up to 2,000, and we got sort of a shine on it. I mean, pretty good. But if you look at the paint, you can see that little, I don't know how to explain this, like little craters in there. And you need to get all them craters out in order to get a mirror shine. So we're going to take the 3,000. Remember, get the most with the least. How to paint without using paint. So now we're going to sand this with 3,000. If you see any black come up, stop sanding because you've sanded through the clear into the ink. And buddy, this thing will shine like a diamond because it's a foam wing. It's not, I can press everywhere and polish everywhere without worrying about busting through the tissue into a rib. And there is no substitute for elbow grease on this. It's just what a lacquer finish takes. Okay, we got 3,000 on it. Now I'm going to show you some products that I normally use that I couldn't get today. So we're going to substitute it. Now you see, it's shiny, but it kind of flattened out. And that's what you want. You want it flat. Now we're going to do a big cut on this. Now normally I use 3M products. I normally use this rubbing compound here. I'm out. Couldn't get it. So we're going to try the Ultimate Compound by Meguiar's. We'll see how that works. I think I just got bit by a mosquito. That ain't good. And the more you rub on lacquer, the shinier it gets. So let's put a little of this compound out. I'm going to use the wool pad. Be very careful. You can put a swirl or a burn in your paint like you can't believe. Keep the pad flat. You only want to turn it about 1500 RPM max because it'll bring too much heat. Now this is not 1500. It's considerably slower because I don't want the fling all over the place. But as soon as I get it spread out, we'll speed it up some and bring some heat into it. And you don't want to let it dry. If it dries and you do this, it'll burn. Yep, there's a mosquito right there. Okay, I've done a pretty good cut on this now. It looks pretty flat. So we're going to take off the wool pad. Go to the orange pad. Now the orange pad's aggressive, but not nearly as aggressive as the wool. Come on. And I've cut those edges off to keep from burning the fillet area with the pad. That squeak is good. Another thing, stay off the edges. You can burn the paint right off an edge. That's looking pretty good. Okay, we went through the orange now. Let's head on down to the blue. Let me cut off the edge. Remember, I'm cutting the edge off this pad to keep from gnarling up the fuselage at the fillet. And I think you get, I think it's 50 pads for 25 bucks on Amazon. Whatever that package is. See, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you get 40 pads. 1, 2, 3, 40 pads for 20 bucks, 25 bucks. I don't remember what it was. All right. Matter of fact, let's go to yellow. I think yellow is, yeah, yellow is firmer than blue. So we want orange. Let me see. I got it written down here. Yeah, yellow is the next step. Orange is the next after this. Light cut will is hot cut. You'll be able to tell when you get your pads the density of the pad itself. Remember, I got to do the whole airplane like this. And Dave Tribble called me and asked me if I wanted a pipe today. I just don't have the money. Damn mosquito, he got me. Keeps the pad moving. Okay. Let's see what we missed here. This thing's got a few spots in it I don't care for, but it's not a 20 pointer. It's, you know, there are no 20 pointers, to be honest. I can always find something. Okay, now most guys would stop right there. That's good enough. Let me zoom out a little bit. But if you want that extra little bit, Zoom out a little more. You want that extra little bit, you're going to use some of this on it. Where the hell did that come from? I got to take the flaps off. We'll do the flaps off the airplane. It'll be easier to do on the foam pad than to try to So we're going to switch up to the blue. We're going to switch compounds to a less aggressive compound, which is the and then we'll go white, black. That noise is good. That means it's working. All right. Now the white, we'll just leave the, see there's a difference too. One has bumps in it, the other ones are flat. We better get a little more on there to lube it up, otherwise we might burn it. This is a messy job. Okay, it's white, now black. So we started with 36 grit and ended up with 15,000. Okay, let's clean all this crap off. just don't know whether you can see the result in that paint. And believe it or not, these Scott paper towels are the best thing. I will not use microfiber on doing this. I'll use these Scott paper towels. Much better. That's a nice shine on that. And when it's all working right, when I do that and I rub it, you can hear static. That's when it's super smooth, super slick. So this has got a little ways to go yet for the static. I guess we can do the other side. I mean, if you guys are interested, I'll do it. And that's how I get the most for the least amount of paint. You can even see the camera head right there in its reflection. And that camera head is and you're not, this is a different type of shine than okay, this is an 18-inch ruler, so it's 18 inches away. Let's put it exactly 18 inches and see if you can see that camera head right there. Okay, that's 18-inch ruler. That's an 18-inch finish. Not too bad for dope. I don't know if you've ever heard the term, you know, a 10-inch finish, 36-inch finish. I mean, you're not going to get a 36 finish out of dope, but you might out of spray shine, maybe. But an 18-inch finish is good. That's better than my Monado. I think I only had a 12-inch finish on the Monado, but that was open bay, and this is foamy, so I can really push on it. Any questions so far? I'll let you guys know everything. Take a break here for a second. Switch back to this cam. See, the camera was way up there. You can see that finish. And this camera is about 3 foot away. Let's see if you can read the numbers in the finish. I suppose at the right angle, the right light, you could. Yep. That's a pretty good finish. Don't matter because the first time you take it out, so it's going to get dinged up, but there's plenty of material on there to buff. Normally, I don't have that much material on there. And I wanted this to be a super nice looking airplane. It does, however, weigh 63 ounces. It's almost 60. It will be 64 ounces when I get the wheel skirts done for it. Everything's in it. Tip weight, engine, tank, fuel. It's ready to fly, except for wrapping the lead outs, which I'll do tonight. And gluing the flaps and elevators on. I don't want to do that till I get them sanded and polished. And a couple of spots I need to touch up, but I can't see. I can't see, foresee any big deal. If we get any good weather next week, we'll be flying it. It actually looks, well, it's a little windy right now. But believe it or not, I have seen it 80 or 90 degrees here in February. So got that slung all over the place. So let's do the same treatment to the nose, I suppose. Go all the way back to here. So I've already sanded that with 2,000. So we need to get the 3,000 out. Flatten that out. Where'd it go? Right there. You love Homer on the side, huh? Okay, this is 3,000. We're gonna let's go overhead so you can see how it flattens out. It's almost like, I ruined it. Let's see here. Let's turn it this way. I need to get rid of this tape dispenser and the scale. Put my screwdriver back. Yes, I'm wet sanding with 3,000 grit sandpaper. I need to take the engine back out of this and get at this real good. They have a good rub down, don't they? They love a good, oh yeah. Okay, do you see how it flattened this all out? It's very dull. It's not shiny at all. We'll go through our buffing pads, and I think I'm going to skip the wool on the nose because I'll tend to burn it on the corner. Know your limitations. We don't want to burn this. Okay, let's have to sand out with 3000. Let's see what it looks like. Any shiny left? Right here. So what you're looking for, you're looking into the paint to see if you can see any little pimples or dimples or whatever. There's one right there. Got it. And that's what keeps it from being shiny. Is the light refraction is not right. So you got to just see ahead. Okay. Alrighty, let's give her a swirl and see what happens. So we're going to use rubbing compound first, once again. You don't need a big pile of it, just a few drops. Now, like I said, normally you use a wool pad, but because we're going around the corner, I'm afraid it'll burn the paint. So we're going to go with the orange pad. Nope. Slowly, nice to not just fling it all over the place. You can hand rub this too. I mean, I used to hand rub them. Oh, see, I slipped there. I didn't get it. You ever look at a bowling ball you ever look at a bowling ball, that's what this looks like after it's buffed. The finish of a bowling ball. Okay, let's wipe that off, see what it looks like. See if I missed any spots. Oh, I can see my face real good in there. But we're not done. It's still got to be blued and black. Blue, white, black. Had a few alleys wreck. I don't know what that means, but okay. So we're gonna go to blue. Gonna run this on it. Different. Ah, shit. How come that crap came out of there like crazy? Too thin. Okay, off the white. Let me see if this shit is running. That helped a little. Nails on a chalkboard. I'm hoping this thing flies. Thank you. I'm hoping this thing flies good so I can make this my Brodak plane. Whether it's my Nats plane or not, I don't know. If it flies good, maybe. Gotta watch this shit almost. I almost thought I'd burn it, but I didn't. Almost. If I burn it, that would be a disaster. I'd have to refinish it. Yep, I can see my face, so that's good. For those who are just joining, I was explaining the different color pads and the different sandpapers. We're down to 15,000 grit, or maybe it's 20,000 now. Let me see. It's a trade secret. That's what it says. I don't know. I'd say we're at least 20,000, or at least 15 and possibly 20,000 grit. So the shaping started with 36 grit, then to 80, then to 180, and then 220, then 320, 400, 600, all the way to 20,000. So anybody thinks you're going to get a finish like this by just spray shining? Yeah, I thought I was too, but for some reason this paint, for whatever they're putting in it, it's drying fast enough that I can get it done. The old dope, such as the Aerogloss, would take a week to harden, but this stuff here, anytime you can get it to come up like that, it's hard. It's good enough. I'll do it again in another month or so, but we'll make it presentable until then. You know, John used to get after me about that. Let it sit, let it sit. I just can't do it. If it's ready to buff, it's ready to buff. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, this is the first rub out. I mean, that's relatively shiny, I would say. Wouldn't you? This is the wing that I've done so far. Look at the lights in it. This wing here, you know, that's a pretty good shine for dope. And it will probably take 100 hours to get it all done. So by the time I get it all done, I'll be ready to go back over it again. Yeah. Let's see if we can get a reflection on that. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yep. Yep. It'll be shining. I told you it'd shine like a diamond because the amount of dope that's on it. And you can push down. You know, I don't have any open base, so I can really lay into it to buff it. I think this is my first foam wing airplane. Let me see. When did I build the last foam wing airplane for myself? Well, I built the Magnum, but I didn't keep it. I only flew it 1 or 2 flights. I didn't like it because it was over 60 ounces. And before that, I believe about 1998, I had an SV-11. I got a picture of it around here somewhere. And I forgot just how good, if you try, the paintwork can be, because I really polished on that, where I didn't polish that much on the Magnum. So I think the next video, to keep you guys interested, instead of doing a polishing video, is I'll do these wheel legs. And I'm going to do them different on this airplane. I don't know how they'll hold up, but we'll see. I usually put basswood into them, but I'm not going to use basswood. I'm just going to use end grain balsa and then saturate it with CA and see how that works. Because, I mean, I'll show you the weight of this thing. It's 53 and a quarter or somewhere in there. Or 63 and a quarter. I wish it was 53. We'd be happy if it was. We'd be jamming if it was 53. I'd be really happy. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but we'll try. $63.35. Let's see this camera here. I don't lie about weight. No need. A lot of guys used to bullshit and say, "Oh yeah, my airplane's 40 ounces." Your ass. That thing is heavy as hell. 55 probably. So this is 10 ounces heavier than my orange Viper. But it's got 10 ounces more paint on it too. And the foam. All right, let's get off this wax and we'll hit it with some 3,000. Now we're 50 minutes in on this session. It says between 2 and 3. I think it come out good. It come out real nice for a hacked together airplane. No plans, just numbers out of my head and stick it together. I happen to have a foam core. They're all the same. All these airplanes are all the same. It's not a big deal. It's not a mystery. If you stay within a certain set of numbers, you're going to have an airplane that works. That's all there is to it. So I think we're going to quit. It's been an hour. This wing has not been polished up yet. This wing has. I can see the difference sitting here. I don't know that you can see it over the camera, but I can see the difference from here. And I can see the difference in the nose. The nose came to life after 3,000. And the regimen of polish. All right, guys, like, subscribe, and share. Remember, tonight is the hangout night. Be on at 7 o'clock Central. If you want to join, you go to Stunhanger, log in, go to at the bench thread, and there'll be a link to the hangout. Or if you want to just join by phone, there's a phone number to dial in. More than happy to have you. We talk about all kind of stuff. You guys talk about left field shit, but what can I say? All righty, we'll see you tonight. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.